Are we filming? Yes, indeed we are. So thank you for joining me again. This is a vintage Filofax. It's probably at least 50 years old, so maybe mid 70s, and possibly earlier than that. It's in very, very poor condition, as you can see. The material that secures the ring mechanism has become detached from the binder. These are normally sewn. They're normally sewn into this backing fabric, which is glued onto these boards, but in this particular case it's come undone. I've had this one for a few months now, and I really like it because of two things. One is it's got great flatability, as you can see, and secondly, it has what I call library friendly rings. The rings are in more or less good alignment, and if I just open these and then shut them again, they're very, very quiet. Modern Filofaxes seem to be so click-clacky that it's enough to wake the dead. If you dared open it in a library or a cafe or a train or anywhere else out and about, you would have people looking up because you're disturbing them. So I like quiet rings, and this has quiet rings, and they seem to be, apart from the fact that they're detached, they seem to be very, very nice, smooth, quiet. Very pleased with them, and of course the flatability is excellent. So why would I use this? Because I am going to use this. I'm going to use this as a notebook, because although I tend to have a diary and to-do lists currently, at least currently, as I film this in 2025, I'm using a mini Filofax for those tasks. But I do use, I like to carry a personal size binder. Doesn't have to be the same one every time, but I just like to mix and match, and I just have some Clairefontaine 50 GSM paper, which is blank paper, not lined paper, and it's just so that I've got maybe 50 to 100 sheets of that, which means that I can write and write and write, to plan, doodle, just draw, just put everything that's coming out of my head onto paper. And so I do that in personal size. So would I use this in a cafe? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, with the exception of the fact that this is detached, it ticks all the boxes for me. The detachment is not such of a problem, because, for instance, when you buy a newspaper, that's not stapled together, and people still manage to read the newspaper without all the pages becoming separated, because it's not, unless you're in a windy situation. You know, if you open this on a table in a train, gravity is going to have this like this. It's not going to float away. So you couldn't use this in the International Space Station, but everywhere else it's absolutely fine, as long as you're not juggling it, trying to write with one hand, and anyway, I'm digressing here. This has actually got a collection of notes about, it's obviously written at some point by a horticulturalist, perhaps some time ago, perhaps 50 years ago. What I tend to do when I acquire a Filofax that's got interesting notes, I tend to remove them, fit treasury tags, so that I just store them in my filing cabinet in a shoebox. I might write a note on a covering page, so that I can remember which binder that they've been removed from. But I am going to use this. One of the things that I really like about this is that compared to modern binders, it's personal size that's pocketable, and in a way that, for instance, this Filofax Hoban isn't. Partly because you've got this huge strap, and I do appreciate that a lot of people like their Filofaxes to be overstuffed, and that can be a really good look. I totally get it, but that's for another purpose. This is absolutely ideal, in my opinion, for just having it in your backpack or your jacket pocket or coat pocket, and you can take it with you wherever you want to go. I love the wear on these binders. I'm not such a big fan of wear on some of the modern ones, because you've got this sort of thin layer of leather, and then this is a Finsbury, and you can see that when that thin layer wears away, it reveals this awful cardboard inside. Not a good look. But if you look at this, where's the camera? Okay, this is wearing just as badly, but I think this is a good look because it's kind of very honest. There's no pretense by covering basically a man-made binder with a thin layer of leather, and then claiming it's real leather, when 90% of the construction is actually man-made materials. This is all man-made materials. It doesn't say, hey, look at this. This is when it was made, it was a business tool rather than a fashion item. And it's all the better for it. I mean, I just like the way that these age, and apart from the fact that it's aged not very well with the detachment here, which might put some people off. I think for me at least it is a good look. So I'll leave it there. I have a more detailed extended review of this binder for channel members. Consider joining. It'll only cost you £1 a month, or the equivalent in your local currency. But why not have a look? There's a lot of exclusive material on there already, and it's growing all the time. So feel free to have a look, and it'll only cost you £1. But until my next video, thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.